It's Syretta and Eric back again with the Bougie Breakdown.
Right?
Today, we're so passionate about a subject that Eric brought up not too long ago, and that's designer price tags. Are they out of control?
Yes,
Eric and I
yes. I can say yes, they
agree.
are.
Yes, they are. And is the expectation that they're high? Yes. But out of this world high? No. And they're still climbing.
Right.
Eric, why don't you give us your feelings on this?
Well, I think the value is not there, right? I think to your
Mhm.
point, do we expect them to be high? Yes. And I think, well, first let's just lay the groundwork because there is designer and then there is luxury. And I think we've gotten
Mhm.
confused. There are a lot
Yeah.
of designer products, which means that it has a label on it, like a brand label on it, right? Versus
Right.
luxury. There are a lot of designer products that have a luxury price to it. And I think that's the issue that I'm having is that the more I go into these stores and I shop designer items that I expect to have a luxury quality to it, they don't. But they have the luxury price to it, nor does it have the luxury experience to it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you go into, say, a Gautier, or you go into a Givenchy, or you go into even a Burberry, and you have a shirt, which could be made of anything, but they choose to make it for cotton, out of cotton. And that cotton shirt, which is a button up or a hoodie, is now $900, $1,200. And there's really no attention to detail. It isn't a special
No.
fabric. There isn't any very unique silhouette to it. Kind of all of those identifiers of what luxury is does not exist, but the price tag exists. And not only
Right.
that, it's like the staff isn't nice. They aren't very helpful. They aren't well versed. So kind of all of those markers that historically, at least for me, would warrant and justify that luxury price is
Right.
there, but I'm seeing it everywhere. And it's just not adding up. Like the math isn't mathing for me. Like I'm seeing Chanel, which was always a luxury house, as we all know.
Yeah.
But even the quality of their bags has went down and the cost of their bags have substantially went up. And I think some of the things that I struggle with when I think about cost, luxury, what it means to me is how exclusive is it, right? So,
Good point.
right. So if a bag by Chanel was 6,000, now it's 10,000, it's 11,000, it's $12,000, and it's subpar average materials, and it's mass produced, meaning
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
saturated, it's everywhere.
Yeah, not exclusive.
Right. So now I've now spent $10,000, $12,000 on something that is mass produced that you can see anywhere. It just, it's not making sense. And I think you, as somebody like you who's worked in this industry for quite some time, I think the reckoning is coming. I think that's also like the rise of counterfeit, bootleg, dupe, all of that. I think it's all part of that. And even that is a whole different conversation, which we can bring into this. But I do think the
Yeah.
result of that, right? It's like people are not seeing, even if you can afford it, you're not seeing the value in it because the quality isn't where it needs to be, nor is it exclusive, nor is the experience, but the price continues to go up. And so the feeling that you got from wearing it and having it and
But not there.
feeling special and exclusive and unique and different or like it was something to aspire to, none of that is there. And I don't think it's a fair exchange. I really don't.
It's not.
It is not a fair exchange at all.
I agree. And I've defaulted to some workarounds for this. One is buying
Oh, I
vintage,
love it.
or getting things passed down to me. I had a very special sweet friend gift me a vintage Chanel clutch that is magnifique. Okay. It's beautiful, right? And I don't see it anywhere. I was telling you the other day, I have my grandmother's Gucci wallet that was gifted to her in the 80s. Another workaround that I found for myself, and this is on the cost side of things, is going to the luxury designer outlets,
Yes.
and I don't want to spend 10K
Yeah.
on a designer bag. I'm going to go to Palm Springs, head to the Desert Hills outlet, and maybe buy a shoe and a bag. My money goes further there, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm into these days. How much do I want to spend, and what all can I do with this money? I've done it all. I've been everywhere. I don't exactly need that wow worthy piece that's going to cost 10, 20K. Let me get, let me spend half that and then take the rest and do something else with it.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, it's not always, I always say it's not always about making more money. It's about how you make the money go further, right?
That's right.
And I think you actually hit on something that is trending in a very big way and has been in retail and how consumers are spending is this idea around vintage, previously owned, upcycle, whatever term, blah, 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 that you want to use is like people are buying pre-owned products at a higher rate than they've ever done before. And I look at how the RealReal is expanding in a way that their footprint is starting to mimic what you would see of a Gap, a Banana Republic, you know, those sort of traditional retail stores, obviously boutique, right?
Mhm.
Limited distribution, but nonetheless, they're opening up in cities and states that are retail shopping destinations, and it's
Right.
owned vintage. So this idea of purchasing clothing that others have owned is not just for those who don't have the money or those who are antiquing or those it has really opened up to so many more people. And I think part of it is the people who buy it, you don't see the value in it anymore and you want to move on to something else. And then there are people who want to acquire and acquiring it at full price don't see the value in the full price based off of everything that I just said. And so how do you solve for that? Pre-owned is the perfect solution for it because it's lightly
Agree.
used, lightly worn, gently used, sometimes not even used at all, right? It's just got your tag on it and you just haven't used
Yeah.
it. But it's a way for you to get what you want at a value and at a price that works for you. And then maybe you move on from it in 2 to 3 years. So
Yeah. And if you're anything like me, sometimes I'm scouring those, I'm scouring Fashion File and the Real for something, maybe even Detox for something that to me back when I was 20 and 21, like I was always enamored with Foxy Brown and her Christian Dior era.
oh, the
Um,
best.
that
Yeah.
saddlebag,
Yeah.
was
Well,
looking
that's
for
hold
that and
on.
like,
Before I gotta get I gotta interject really quickly. That's the Galliano era. And if the girls know, that Dior era is the best. Go into the
it is.
archive, Google it. When John Galliano was designing for Dior, the bags, the sunglasses. I mean, it
Sunglasses,
moment.
yes,
Yes.
that was a moment. And so sometimes I'm like looking for that kind of stuff when I'm shopping, when I'm looking at the real world. I'm looking for those things that like, man, I missed it because at 21 I did not have the means to buy it. So I'm like, let me go back and see what I could find that I may have missed. And a lot of times I'm not looking for what's most current. I want to pop out on everyone with something like that that's like, oh my gosh, where did you get that? Or oh, I remember that those sunglasses were a moment in the clubs back when I was 20, 21, when the videos on MTV and BET were still like style moments. I was tuned in to see the wardrobe, right?
Yeah.
Wishing I was on set to style everyone. So those kind of things are big deals to me.
Yeah, it's so funny you mentioned that. I was just on the Real last week, and I was filtering and looking by Tom Ford Gucci era, and like what was on there from that. I just want those years, like just those like 8 or 9 years. That's it. Really, I want 96 to 2001. Like what
Mm,
is still available and out there. So it's fun because you can find the things that to your point, either you couldn't access it at that time for whatever reason, or now you're re-inspired by it. And to me, that has more value than buying.
Agree.
I just feel like a lot of what is out there right now that you can go into stores and buy at a variety of different price levels feels very pedestrian.
Oh, I like that word.
It does. It feels very pedestrian. And when you get into three, four figure, five figures for an item, like it definitely should not feel basic in
That's
any
all.
regard at all. So a lot of it is, it's like a crew neck is a crew neck is a crew neck, unless you start adding attention to detail to it. You know, bomber jacket is bomber jacket, unless you start adding different finishes to it, materials, that sort of thing that then warrants it is the price. And so I'm just not seeing it. I am not seeing it in a lot of these designers, you know? It's just
Yeah.
disappointing because I want to buy it. You know, you go in, you're
Yeah.
excited, and then I'm like, this is a sweatshirt. It's the
Like,
same sweatshirt.
show me something else.
Like, I'm not seeing.
Give me a paille on the sweatshirt or something. Something. And
It's a t-shirt and it's $350. I don't
yeah,
like
I'm with you. I'm
graphic.
with you.
It's like, it's a cool graphic. I get it. If it was like a vintage t-shirt from, you know, 70s, 80s, like a band shirt, I get it. I
Yeah.
understand that. But because it has some really interesting graphic on it that is screen printed, and that graphic is most likely generated using AI or Nano Banana or something like that, that
Hurts me. It hurts. It hurts.
I'm not going to do it.
It's not gonna work.
It's hype.
Uh-huh.
I can switch gears and say from a business hat, right? I can put on my business hat, and that is somebody who's consuming it, but somebody who's selling it, and I'm like, do it, right? Because if you are the brand and your brand is that strong, people are loyalists and they will follow you regardless of if you put crap out there, right? It's like they're gonna go the path that you go because they've signed up for the journey.
Yeah.
And I think you could
Yeah.
see that with, like, people love Pharrell, and you could argue whether his work at Vuitton is good or not. But I would say some of the things that people gravitate to in his work isn't because it's great. I think it's really because it's just him and it's Vuitton.
Agree. I've seen that feedback. I agree with you. You know, another workaround that I have, and let me just say, a lot of the brands don't compare to the fashion houses, but when I'm talking about style and taste, they still do it for me at a lower price point. I'm looking at the cult goddess. And you know what? Coach is a storied heritage brand. So is Ralph Lauren. But I'm not spending the same price, but I'm still getting style, luxury. Like my taste ranges, but you know, the classic side of me loves a vintage or new Coach bag, right? I love what they're doing now at Coach. They've made a comeback. I'm gonna look at Cult Gaia every time. My favorite pair of sandals from a couple of years ago are a pair of Cult Gaia sandals, and I have a jacket that's been on my mood board for a year now. Let me think of some other brands that are not five figures. For shoes, I would say Amina Mawadi, right? And so I'm still getting the taste, the style. And to me, these brands aren't overly saturated. You don't see them everywhere. For many people, they don't see them and just immediately know, oh, that's this or that's that. They just don't know. But I still feel like my needs are being met with these brands.
Yeah, because I think you're not leading by label, you're leading by
It is exactly.
right?
That's it.
And I think that's
That's a
the
bar.
difference, right? It's like when you, I'm just gonna say it, it may not be a popular opinion, but I think it's like when you don't have style, you lean on a brand to give you that credibility, right?
Yeah.
Either plastered across you or it justifies you wearing it because you say, oh, well, it must be great because they made it. It's like, I feel that way about fragrances. There are so many fragrances that I hear people say that they love, and I'm like, that smells like shit. It's terrible.
Let me, you are so right.
And you're only like it because because it's Creed, and it's like, well, I don't care if it's Creed or Bond. It does not smell good, right? It's the
That's
same thing. And I
right.
understand scent is personal, style is personal, but let's just call it what it is.
Call a spade a spade.
right?
Yes.
So I think it is that. It's like you said, like Cold Gaia is great. They don't, no, you're not going to walk around with a shirt that says Cold Gaia on it, right?
Right.
But they have great clothes that have amazing style to it, right? So you don't need that label. You say it's not necessary. There's this designer that I've been loving, and I probably shouldn't say it because I don't want anybody to shop them. But they're based in LA, but it's an Asian designer. It's Feng Chen Wang, and their style,
Oh, let me look that up.
yeah, it's kind of like Watanabe and Yamamoto, like Yoji Yamamoto,
Mm,
but
yeah.
less avant-garde and more like easily wearable. And their prices are similar to Cold Gaia, but I like them for men because they give you different silhouettes than you would normally find from American-based brands. So pants are a little bit more voluminous, wide legs,
Love it.
great different types of shirts, mixed media. You know, the shorts aren't always the same types of shorts. Sometimes they're like wider and come below the knee. Sometimes they're shorter. You know, they just have a good vibe to it. So like to your point, like that's who I go to often for an option to designer products that are expensive when I just want like stylish items.
And I'm on their site now. First of all, love it first sight.
Yeah. It's a
Love it.
Yeah, it's a vibe. Like their products are great. And they're unisex too, which is cool.
I noticed that from being on here. Would you mind if I back us up right quick? Because I want to touch on the scent. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like there's always a scent. I love a little wordplay. Uh, like go-tos for fragrances, and that just burns me up. I'm a person with allergies who can't even wear like the cream. I can't wear the so many that I just can't wear because instantly the scent burns my nose, right? So I have to go for something more soft. And one fragrance that I love so much is anything by Mind Game.
Oh, never heard.
It's a favorite. Oh my goodness. I first came into contact with Mind Games when I worked at Neiman. We would feature them often on our social media. And let me tell you, um, Mind Games and Diaz and Durga are the only two brands that Calvin can wear because I can't, they don't make me sneeze. They're soft,
Yeah,
they're unisex, and they are just still luxury brands, but I'm not sneezing all day.
yeah.
And my favorite fragrance, hands down, is anything and everything by Byretto.
Oh,
Are you a fan?
never heard of them. Like you're an insider in
Um,
fragrance, yeah.
oh,
My fragrance game
I
is
didn't.
generic. It's basic. Like I'm a Joe Malone guy, Saint Laurent
Okay.
guy. Like, and I don't do Cree. I've had Baccarat, don't really like it as much, but I'm not a collector of scents. I'm weird.
Yeah.
Like if I see too many bottles, I just see muddy.
Oh my. Um, I know over the years, Kirk Design made song
Oh
branches.
yes.
Kirk Design has picked up speed and it's just to the point of exhaustion. I'm turning around if I see it at the front. I respect it, but I'm turning around. But yeah, because I suffer from allergies and anything can make me sneeze, it's forced me to like seek out brands that aren't like the mainstay brand
Yeah.
fragrance brands.
Makes
So
sense.
yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. So where what are you looking at right now? Like what are some of the designer pieces right now that you're getting excited about that's on your list?
Wow. So I'm in the process of making a mood board for spring, summer
Okay.
of this year. Something that's going to always be at the very top of my list. I've always been obsessed with denim. And so denim, I don't really put a price point on denim. Like I'm not gonna pay 900 for a pair of jeans, but I will pay a lot because the fit is very important, quality, wash. I still have jeans from when I was 19. One time, I'll never forget, my mom hired someone to come clean and organize my closet, and the lady spent the entire cleaning shift, folding jeans in my closet because I have over 100 pairs of jeans. So I'm always into like what the current cut is, what the wash is. I'm very particular about wash. So I'm really eager to jump into what we're doing this year for the denim. And I know that everyone did away with all of the what's the cut? It's escaping me now. Like we stopped with the skinny jeans,
Mhm.
but I noticed like for a couple years there, we were back at boot cut, which I think boot cut, there's still room for boot cut, right? But I noticed that we're coming back down. We're still in wide leg, but it seems like in the next few years, I can see skinny jeans making a comeback. But for right now, barrel leg jeans for me are out, wide legs are in.
Yeah.
I will always have a closet full of bell bottom jeans. So yeah,
I
wide
like them
leg.
all. Like honestly, I know that there are for me and my body type. I just like them all. Like honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a purpose occasion for them all. Like sometimes skinny still works.
True.
Sometimes I need a boot. I have boot. I have flare. I have wide. I have skinny.
Yes.
You know, like it depends, like the proportion, the vibe. Like sometimes even wide is good with the sandals. Sometimes it's good with like a pair of Converse, and then other times like a Saint Laurent boot. Like it just depends on
Agree.
what the vibe is, you know?
I love the option that wide leg jeans
Yeah.
presents, right? Because now I was for a while there, I pledged allegiance to the tight jeans, like a cigarette jean, just a tight jean that looked like it was painted on, right? Even if it's my bell bottom, it had to be tight until it flared out, right? But wide leg jeans just, I mean, it just, to me, it opens you up to almost like a challenge. What can I do with this wide ass silhouette?
Yeah.
I can go skinny on top. I can dress it up. I can dress it down. A wide leg looks amazing with the boot, but it also looks so amazing with the right chic sandal. So, very excited
I
about
think
wide leg. And
what a wider leg, especially for women. I can't speak for women, but I'm about to give my perspective on it. And even as a man, like, right, I think that when you wear something that is not fitted to your body, if you are typically motivated to choose your looks by how people receive you as sexy, I like your shape, I like this part of your body, you typically dress to accentuate that, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it tight does that. And so in order to get out of that, there has to be a level of like comfort of, hey, I'm going to do something
yeah,
that looks different. And people may not respond to me in the same way, but I'm okay with that, right?
yeah,
That's why you see
yeah,
people typically like they're going to be in tight forever, right? Because they
yeah.
want people to respond to them in a very consistent way versus I want to try different things. And if I don't get a response, I'm not dressing for other people to like it. I'm dressing for me to like it. And I think that's kind of like the beauty of trying a bunch of different styles is like you
Very.
start to dress for what you like versus how you want people to respond to you. Right.
I love that. The little fashion philosophy for us there.
I think it's the truth though. It's like the side, you know, it's like, are you dressing for yourself or are you dressing for others? And you could argue, you know, dress for the role that you want, kind of all those cliche statements. Those things are true. But if you kind of level it up, a lot of times we're stuck in a way of dressing or we choose certain silhouettes because, you know, it, like they say, my milkshake brings the boys to the yard, right? It's like you are showing up in a way that gets the response that you want. But that can also be something that pigeonholes you to look
Yeah,
the same, right?
yeah,
And I think
yeah,
well, to bring it back to the thing about labels, it's the same thing too, right? Like if you want recognition on how you look and you don't feel confident in exploring styles, your default is going to be to wear a label because you're going to get the response from people of, oh, look at you, you got on that Gucci, you got on that.
yeah, yeah.
So you're going to get that validation and that validation makes you feel great, right? Versus you leaning into whatever style it is that you have. So I do think, you know, it's a, probably like you said, it's more of a philosophical, psychological,
Yeah.
right? But I think we got to unbreak it. It's like, do you and get yourself
Mhm.
freedom to explore and try things and not be so dependent on what someone else says or cares or how they respond to what you look like and what you wear.
I think that's style advice to live by, Eric.
I'm trying to live by it every day.
Yeah.
Pretty at the same time too.
Yeah, no, I think that I really hope someone can hear that and be bold enough to break away from what they think they're supposed to do or what they think they need to do and just kind of try out the new color codes, try out the new silhouettes. Like, again, sometimes if I'm doing something that I feel is bold, which I love to be on the bolder side of fashion, I'm like, let me challenge myself today.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's always good. Stand out from the rest unless you're a person who doesn't like attention. Me, I am counting the compliments I get and looking at my husband and like, see, I told you, see who you're with. Like I'm counting the compliments because fashion is art, right?
It is.
I do see fashion as an art form. And, you tap into that artistic side and your creativity when you step outside of thinking about what people think or what you think the labels communicate, and just going all out and being creative.
I love it. Well, guys, that is it for this episode of the Bougie Breakdown. And we will chat with you soon. Ciao.
I'll stay on.